Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, there stood a majestic old willow tree. Its long, graceful branches danced lightly with the breeze, whispering ancient secrets only the wind could hear. But there was something special about this particular willow. It had a curious gift, the gift of storytelling. Every evening, as the sun kissed the horizon goodnight and painted the sky in hues of pink and orange, the willow's branches would sway gently, and its leaves would begin to glimmer, ready to weave magical tales for the little ones who gathered beneath it. One such evening, young Rosie, a bright-eyed girl with blonde curls and a heart full of wonder, snuggled next to the trunk of the willow with her favorite stuffed bunny, Mr. Fluff. As the rustling leaves began their nightly serenade, Rosie knew a new story was unfolding. Once, in a land where the stars were as bright as fireflies, began the willow, there lived a tiny star named Twinkle. Twinkle was not as big or as shiny as the other stars, but she had the biggest heart in the galaxy. Each night, Twinkle would look down at the earth, fascinated by the lands full of color and life. But Twinkle had a secret wish. She wanted to visit the earth just once, to see it up close and make friends with the beings who lived there. One special night, when the moon was particularly bright, Twinkle gathered all her courage and whispered her wish to the moon. The kindly moon, with a twinkle of its own, agreed to help little Twinkle. With a beam of moonlight wrapped around her like a cloak, Twinkle drifted down gently, leaving a sparkling trail behind. She landed softly in a meadow that shimmered with dew under the moon's glow. In the meadow, Twinkle met creatures she had only dreamed of. A wise old owl named Professor Hoot, who loved riddles and poetry. A family of fireflies, who lit up the night sky with their cheerful dance. And a gentle rabbit with fur as white as snow. Rosie smiled as the willow went on, imagining Twinkle's delight at all her new friends. The days turned into nights, and Twinkle shared stories of the stars with her earthbound friends, while they taught her about flowers, rivers, and the songs of birds. Twinkle was so happy, her light shone brighter than it ever had before. But Twinkle knew her time on earth couldn't last forever. With a heavy heart, she bid farewell to her friends. Yet she promised never to forget them and to always watch over the meadow whenever night fell. And so, the willow concluded softly, each night as you gaze up at the twinkling stars, remember that tiny little star who once danced with earthly creatures and painted the night with her love and joy. The leaves of the willow fell silent, and Rosie, with a dreamy sigh, clung tighter to Mr. Fluff, her eyelids growing heavy with sleep. The whispering willow had woven its magic, and soon Rosie was peacefully adrift in a sea of dreams where stars danced and adventures awaited. And thus, the spirit of the willow's tales lingered in the air, a gentle lullaby tucking Rosie into the warm embrace of slumber.